Hey, welcome back to Crafts Basics, where art is a passion and craft is your everyday life. Today I am making a bubble balloon, and it's a set that I'll be creating with this, what do you call this? This is a base, yes. And the balloon, so it's kind of like a hot air balloon vibe that we're going for. And I'll be using black and purple balloons, purple ribbons, and we'll add some personalized text to it, which I used my Cricut Explorer Air 2 to create. All right. So first of all, you want to stretch the balloon before you start inflating it. So I'm just going to give it a few stretches around the edges. It's recommended, and I have tried to bypass this process before and it didn't quite work out in my favor. So I would recommend following this process when you are making your bubble balloons. Give it a nice stretch. I'm wearing nails, so it kind of makes it harder to do this, but we got this. So the next thing I will do is I will inflate this a bit. I'm just gonna check to make sure the balloon isn't leaking, so we can start working. Just double check in, make sure we're solid before we go through this entire process and anything goes wrong. I do notice a little spot that I don't quite appreciate, so I'm going to change this balloon. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I got another balloon and let's try this again. So I always make sure to inspect, because one of the worst things that can happen to you is you are all the way to the end of the process and you realize you have to start over. It's not fun. Okay, so we're good. So I have my manual pump, which I will need to add the smaller balloons to this bigger balloon, all right? And I found this trick, so I am using this tool here to insert the balloons. And I'm sure there are tools out there specific for this process, but I don't have any of those, so I'm using what I have. So you just want to get it in and hold it. You don't want it too big inside. So let me see if I can close up. So I'm pulling the balloon outside of this one, tying it, and then I'm going to cut the tip off. So that's one. Let me do one of the purple ones. So, let's see. So it's in. And manual pump. I don't want them too big, so I'm just giving a few pumps. And this process really works your arms, so what I'm doing now is just pulling this away and tying it on the outside. Removing the excess. All right. So I need to add some more. And you're going to lose air during the process. I mean, it's easy to just repump. You can also count how many pumps you make so your balloons remain consistent with the size on the inside. So these smaller ones, some are not large and some are small. Or you could just eyeball it. Adding the purple. So I'm gonna add some more air to this right now. So okay. So this is not a hard process, but it does take some time. And if you have made it this far in my video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my tutorials. Okay, so we have 4 balloons. I think I'm going to add an extra balloon. I'm going to do purple kind of like the purple vibe. Purple is nice. So just one more. Oops, I made a boo-boo, but all isn't lost. If I can get it to come through, that would be great. Okay, no. I'm gonna have to pull this one out. Yep. Let's try another one. My nails are not allowing me to be great, but that's okay. So we're just gonna put another one in. I know I'm making this seem a lot more difficult than it actually is. There we go. Right. So that's the last one. We're gonna tie. And cut. And now we're going to add some air. So the next thing I'm going to do is to test and see how firm this is. I don't want it to be too firm. Right? That's good. Okay. And I'm going to stretch here. And I'm going to twist. I'm going to twist some more. I just need to tie this now. There we go. Okay, so the balloon is ready, and I have this base. The bottom of the base actually has, so you can close it. It has this ribbon design on it, which we can keep, but I am going to remove. For the purpose of this project, I won't be needing it. So I'm going to cut it off, and it's actually glued on, so that was easy. Place in. Eat it. Right. So I like to use my glue gun for this stage of the project, and while I don't need to glue this onto the bottom, we have some ribbon here that we're going to be attaching to the design as well, and this is the stick for the balloon. So let's get that piece done. All right, so for this piece here, I like to get this part of the balloon on the inside. So I'm pushing it through, comes out on the other side. It gives me more stability, the balloon right here. Okay, and I'm going to pull it through the opening, right? And I am going to wrap it around the balloon. But before I start wrapping, I need some glue. So this glue will help to keep it in place, so it doesn't come apart easily. So I'm pulling on it, wrapping it around. I need some more glue. And be careful, this is hot. This is just a process that I take to secure my work, so that the balloon doesn't, get off this section easily. I'm keeping it in place. All right. There we go. Hoping you can see that. And I also glue the stick on the inside so that my work stays intact. So if it's windy, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. So glue, then I'm going to slide this on the inside and force it all the way up. Okay, give it a twist. And it's not so hot, so I can use my finger to remove it now, but you don't have to do that. All right, so it's intact. I also need to get this inside the base, all right, because this is where we're going to put our balloon to stand. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue here so this doesn't go out of place, and I'm putting it in the middle of the base. So it's sitting firmly in. Okay, so the length of this balloon, the design is not going to be like all the way this tall. I want it to be shorter. So I'm going to cut the straw. That could be the size, but maybe a little bit lower. Maybe that will. Okay, yes, that looks a little bit more natural. So I'm also going to add some glue to this so it sits inside without coming out easily. There we go. So once we're done doing that, I'm not ready to add my ribbon yet, but let me just show you. The ribbon is literally going to be sitting here. So one is going to be, and I'm putting them on the inside. So I'm just doing the measurements for my ribbons now. All right, so I want it to be glued on the inside, about this long. So I'm going to cut my ribbon right here. and I need 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off. Well, no, I do need this. So before I add the ribbons, I'm going to add the words that I did earlier. So it's for a birthday, so we're gonna have this sitting on the lower part of the base, and we'll have this on the top. Okay, so that's the next step. Okay, so I was doing some prep work off cam, and I am going to be adding the verbiage, the text to the balloon. Okay. So one of the things I do when I'm doing round surfaces, I try to slit the vinyl so it sits better when I am working. Not the words, just the vinyl. So trying to make sure that this is somewhat centered. I'm using my little tool here. Just put it on. Gently remove this one for safety. Alright, so one section is on, and I'm adding the other piece. And you guys can let me know in the comments below if this video is helpful for you, if you have specific questions about the process. And these balloons typically last for days. I'm trying to remember. I did one and I had it sitting around for about 3 weeks. Unprovoked, of course. They stay pretty long. So trying to make sure this is going on right. And let me just try to get some slits in. Should have done that before, but it's not too late. Because this is a curved surface, it's better to do this so your design doesn't have too many bulges. And I'm trying not to touch the balloon, as you can see. So just take your time and apply the words. Just rubbing them on. We have it. And gently remove. I would love some recommendations on a transfer tape. This one is pre-cut, but I would love some recommendations on a transfer tape that, you know, holds up well on projects like these. So if you guys have worked with any transfer tapes that are, you know, really good, that you would recommend, you can just drop me a comment below. I think I'm going to do a review on some transfer tape that I purchased from Amazon, but they're Cricut brand, and it's supposed to be a strong hold, but I think it's too strong, so it was messing with my projects. And this one is more on the lighter side, but removing it can be a little bit tricky from the balloon. This is where my nails come in handy. So you don't want to take any chance to poke it with something. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to add the text to the bottom of the base, which right there. So this is the text for the bottom of the base. Just gonna remove that. And add that to it. All right, so I need to cut this. So once again, this is another curved surface, and you want to make sure that the words are sitting properly. So this one is more of a textured surface, so it requires a little bit more work than if it was a smooth surface. So let's hope we don't have any challenges. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to add our ribbons, and we need to fill this basket with some goodies. So I'll show you what the goodies are as soon as I have them together. So we're going to add the ribbons. And how I like to have my ribbon sit. So they should meet at the top. All right. So I'm going to use my glue gun to add the first ribbon. And enough glue just to make sure it stays in place. Next one. Okay. And sorry. The other ribbon. This one. So we can remove some of the rest from this one. Just to top it. Okay, so the final step is to add the fillers to this design. All right, so this is what we have so far. And now we just need to fill this up, okay? I'm also going to add some of these curly ribbons to this section right here, you know, just kind of hide what's happening here. I could also just tie it with a piece of this ribbon, which I think would be nicer, gives it a more lovely finish. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm a glue gun specialist. I love working with my glue gun. It keeps stuff in place. So it keeps your work neat. It doesn't look untidy. And it keeps stuff in place way easier than if you were trying to fight this ribbon to be cute. Okay. So now I'm going to attempt tying a bow. I think there's a technique to it, but I'm still working on it. So this is me going off camera, fighting with my bow and coming back. So I'm just going to wrap this ribbon all the way around, okay? Okay, so my bow wasn't an epic fail. Any tips on making the perfect bow? I think that's something I really need to practice some more. Okay, we're almost there. Just a little creativity for this design. All right, so now I need to grab the items that will go inside this, and I will show you the finished product. All right, so if you made it this far, I'm hoping that you did subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my tutorials. There you have it. This is the finished product, and I just added some items to the base to see how everything would come together. So thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.